You've spent too much time watching others win while wondering when your time will come. But what if the truth is, your time starts the moment you stop focusing on everyone else and start focusing fully on yourself? Have you ever asked yourself, what would happen if you put all your energy into improving you, your mindset, your discipline, your skills, your future? Most people never find out because they're too distracted, too afraid, or too busy comparing. But you're not most people. In this audiobook, I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you finally decide to focus on you until you win. Not halfway, not sometimes, fully. We'll break down the steps to build real confidence, develop real strength, and create real results. If you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of settling, and ready to rise, this is your moment. Stay with me. Your breakthrough starts right now. Chapter 1. Commit to daily self-reflection to uncover growth areas. You keep showing up, doing your best, trying to stay consistent, but deep down, you know you're still not living at your highest potential. Something's missing. You feel it when the day ends and you haven't really made progress. You feel it when you keep repeating the same habits, staying stuck in the same cycles. And you feel it most when you're alone with your own thoughts. That quiet voice inside you keeps whispering, you were meant for more. But it won't happen by accident. It won't come from wishful thinking. You're not going to magically wake up one day as the best version of yourself unless you do the one thing most people run from: face yourself honestly every single day. This is where real transformation begins. Not with motivation, not with external success, but with daily self-reflection, the discipline of looking at yourself with complete honesty, understanding what's holding you back, and intentionally choosing who you're becoming. The people who win in life aren't just talented, they're brutally self-aware. They don't ignore their flaws. They study them. They don't lie to themselves. They correct themselves. And they do it every single day. Because self-reflection isn't a one-time thing. It's not something you do once a month when life hits you hard. It's something you build into your daily life, like brushing your teeth. It's how you keep your inner world clean. It's how you notice when your energy is off, your thoughts are drifting, and your standards are slipping. Self-reflection is how you catch the little cracks before they become deep wounds. It's how you stay focused on what matters. It's how you keep evolving when others are staying the same. Most people don't reflect because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront the truth. It demands that you stop blaming others. It requires that you take full ownership, and it's easier to distract yourself. Scroll, escape, blame. But the cost of avoiding reflection is your own potential. You can't grow what you won't examine. You can't improve what you don't acknowledge. If you want to win in life, you have to make reflection a non-negotiable part of your day. It doesn't take hours. It takes presence. It doesn't take perfection. It takes honesty. Self-reflection is not about judging yourself. It's about studying yourself. Why did I react like that today? What triggered me? What pattern am I repeating? What am I avoiding? What lie am I telling myself? These questions are uncomfortable, but they hold the keys to your next level. Think about it. Every decision you make is driven by your inner programming. Most of it is unconscious. You act without thinking. You follow the same patterns you learned years ago. But when you start reflecting, you bring that programming into the light. You see what's working and what's not. You start catching yourself in the moment. You start choosing better responses. That's how growth happens. Not overnight, but through repeated awareness and small adjustments. And those small adjustments compound into a massive transformation. You don't need a perfect routine to start. Just start. Start by taking 5 minutes each night. Before bed, turn off the noise. Put your phone down. Sit with yourself. Ask simple questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What triggered me? What can I do better tomorrow? The goal is not to shame yourself. It's to understand yourself. Awareness is power. And the more aware you become, the more in control you are of your actions, your thoughts, and your direction in life. The people who achieve extraordinary success aren't smarter than you. They're just more aligned. They know who they are, they know what they stand for, and they stay on track because they take time every day to reflect and recalibrate. They don't wait for life to knock them down to do a reset. They reset themselves daily. That's how you stay strong. That's how you stay focused. That's how you build momentum that doesn't fade. Without reflection, you stay reactive. You live in emotional autopilot. You make the same excuses. You fall into the same traps. But when you reflect, you slow down. You gain perspective. You take responsibility. And that responsibility gives you power. Power to choose differently. Power to show up better. Power to shape your life instead of letting life shape you. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter how far you feel from the person you want to be. What matters is what you do next. And the most powerful thing you can do right now is build a habit of reflection. Make it your anchor. Make it your reset. Make it the foundation of your growth. Start by setting a fixed time each day. It could be in the morning to prepare your mind, or in the evening to process your day. But keep it consistent. Create a ritual around it. Grab a notebook. Write your thoughts. Don't overthink it. Just be honest. Raw honesty is where real breakthroughs come from. This is not about perfection. It's about presence. Keep it simple. What am I proud of today? What challenged me? How did I respond? What would my future self do differently? You'll start noticing patterns. You'll start seeing how often fear dictates your actions. You'll catch yourself blaming others when the problem is within. You'll see where your standards are slipping. And when you see it, you can change it. But only if you're willing to do this work every single day. This is not a motivational exercise. This is inner engineering. You are shaping your character. You are upgrading your mental software. You are training yourself to live with purpose, discipline, and integrity. Every day that you reflect, you get better. And every day you skip it, you drift. You can't afford to drift anymore. Life is too short. The cost of staying unconscious is too high. If you want peace, clarity, and power, you need to build a habit of meeting yourself daily. Reflect with truth. Reflect with intention. Reflect with discipline. And don't just reflect on what's wrong. Celebrate what's right. Give yourself credit. Track your wins. Build a relationship with yourself that's rooted in truth and love. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are what you do consistently. And when you consistently show up for yourself, everything changes. You become more grounded, more focused, more patient, more driven. You stop seeking validation. You start trusting your path. You stop waiting for motivation. You start showing up with purpose. Because you're no longer lost in your mind. You're aware. You're awake. You're in control. That's what daily reflection gives you. Control, direction, growth. And over time it becomes second nature. You don't wait until you're overwhelmed to pause. You pause every day. You check in. You assess. You adjust. That's what elite performers do. That's what disciplined people do. That's what winners do. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, commit to this practice. Not once, not occasionally, daily. Make it a core part of who you are. And over time you'll become someone others look to for clarity, strength and wisdom, because you've done the inner work most people avoid. This is the price of growth. It's not easy, but it's worth it, and you're capable of it. You've already overcome so much. You've already made it through things that tried to break you. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are becoming. But you must meet yourself every day to stay on that path. This is your starting point. Sit with yourself today. Be honest. Be open. Be committed. Ask the hard questions, and keep asking them until your life reflects the truth of who you are. Every day go deeper. Every day get clearer. Every day get stronger. Focus on you until you win in life. Not by luck, not by chance, but by conscious, disciplined effort. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you become unstoppable. Now start today. Right now. Don't wait. Sit down and reflect. Your next level is waiting. But it won't come to someone who avoids themselves. It comes to the one who's willing to meet the mirror head on, day after day, until the reflection shows a winner. And that winner is already within you, waiting to be seen, heard, and unleashed. It all begins with one choice. Commit to daily self-reflection. Stay with it. Grow from it. And never look away from the person you are becoming. Chapter 2. Set clear goals each morning to guide daily progress. Most people wake up already losing, rushed, distracted, overwhelmed, and reactive. Before they've even had a chance to think clearly, the day is already controlling them. But the truth is, if you don't own your morning, you'll spend the rest of the day chasing clarity you never built. The most powerful weapon you have to shape your life is the intention you set before the world even gets a chance to pull you in its chaos. That's why you must start every morning with crystal clear goals, not vague ideas, not empty wishes, but specific, intentional actions that guide your focus and lock your attention on what truly matters. A person without goals is a ship without a compass, floating, drifting, reacting to every wave and wind. You can't afford to live like that anymore. Not if you're serious about growing. Not if you're serious about winning. You're here to become someone greater, and that doesn't happen accidentally. It happens when you take control. It happens when you wake up each day and decide deliberately what you're going to achieve and who you're going to be. Setting goals every morning isn't about writing a to-do list. It's about aligning your energy. It's about cutting through the noise and demanding clarity from your mind. When you wake up and immediately define what matters most, you reclaim your power. You're not reacting anymore. You're leading. You're not drifting anymore. You're directing. And that shift, as small as it seems, is what separates people who live intentionally from those who live in regret. Because the truth is, you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your systems, and your daily goals are the foundation of those systems. They are the rails that keep your train on track. Without them, your momentum crashes, your focus scatters, and your time is stolen by everything and everyone that doesn't serve your vision. There's something powerful about waking up with purpose. The moment you open your eyes and ask yourself, what is my aim today? You activate discipline. You give your actions meaning. You stop living passively, because now you're working towards something. You've declared your direction. You've taken a stand against distraction. And even if the day throws you challenges, and it will, you've already locked in on what you will do, who you will be, and how you will move. Think about how many days you've ended, frustrated, exhausted, but unsure of what you even accomplished. That's not because you weren't busy. It's because you weren't focused. You didn't begin with clarity, so the day ran you. The demands piled up, the distractions won, and even though you tried your best, without clear goals, your energy was scattered across 100 things that didn't push you forward. But when you start your morning with clear goals, everything changes. You know exactly where to place your time. You don't waste energy guessing. You filter decisions faster. You spot distractions quicker. You work with intensity because you're aiming at something specific. And when you hit it, even if it's a small win, you feel the momentum build. That momentum becomes fuel. And over time, it compounds into real lasting progress. Setting morning goals isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. It's a daily reminder of who you're becoming. When you write down a goal like stay calm under pressure or complete a task without procrastination, you're not just writing an action. You're defining a version of yourself. You're saying, this is who I am today. And when you live that out, even in small ways, you begin to trust yourself. You begin to see yourself as disciplined, as focused, as someone who follows through. That self-image is powerful. It shapes how you show up in every situation. And the stronger it gets, the less likely you are to fall back into old patterns. That's why goal setting has to be daily, not weekly, not occasionally, daily. It keeps your identity fresh. It keeps your standards high. And it keeps your mind locked in on the life you're building. But it has to be intentional. You can't just write down 10 random things to do and call that progress. You have to think. You have to prioritize. You have to ask yourself, what are the few key actions that if done today would move my life forward? Not just what's urgent, but what's important. The deep work. The uncomfortable work. The work that builds you. That's what should dominate your list. And you must make those goals visible. Don't keep them in your head. Write them down. Speak them out loud. Put them somewhere you can see them. Because the moment you bring your goals into the physical world, they become real. They're not just ideas anymore. They're commitments. And commitments create pressure. Good pressure. The kind that keeps you focused when your motivation fades. There's a psychological shift that happens when you set goals in the morning. Your brain starts filtering information differently. You notice opportunities you would have missed. You act with greater urgency. You bounce back from setbacks quicker because you know what you're fighting for. This is not theory. It's proven. Clarity sharpens focus. Focus increases performance. Performance leads to results. And results build belief. But this discipline isn't built in a day. It's built one morning at a time. You have to keep showing up for yourself, even on days you feel tired, especially on days you feel unmotivated, because those are the days that define you. It's easy to set goals when life feels smooth. It's when things feel heavy that your real strength is revealed, and goal setting becomes your anchor. A reminder that no matter what's happening around you, you still have a mission. You have to fight for your mind each morning. You have to push past the urge to scroll, to check messages, to consume the world before you've even created your direction. Your first thought each day should not be about others. It should be about you, your vision, your growth, your progress. That's not selfish. That's necessary. Because if you don't fill your mind with purpose, the world will fill it with noise. This is your time. This is your responsibility. No one else is going to set goals for you. No one else is going to build your vision. And if you don't take control of your mornings, life will slip through your fingers, day by day, year by year, until you wake up wondering why you're still stuck in the same place. Don't let that happen. Start now. Wake up tomorrow and take 10 minutes. That's all it takes. 10 quiet minutes to get clear. Ask yourself, what do I want to feel proud of by the end of this day? What 3 things will move me closer to who I want to be? Then write them down. Keep them simple. Make them powerful. Make them non-negotiable. And once they're set, guard them. Don't let your day start until those goals are crystal clear. Don't let distractions sneak in before you've armed your mind. That's how you build discipline. That's how you stay focused. That's how you win. One intentional morning at a time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. The power is not in having perfect goals. The power is in setting them every single day. Because even if you fall short, you've still moved forward. You've still acted with purpose. And that over time rewires your life. Eventually you'll notice the shift. You'll wake up already thinking about your goals. You'll start seeing results stack. You'll become sharper, faster, more focused. People around you will notice. Your confidence will rise. And it won't be luck. It won't be chance. It will be the daily price you've paid, starting every morning with clarity and commitment. This is how you separate yourself. Not by working more hours, but by working with more direction. Not by chasing every opportunity, but by staying locked in on what truly matters. And that clarity comes from daily goals, small steps, big results, quiet focus, loud progress. You don't need to fix your whole life overnight. You just need to set your aim each morning. You just need to wake up with intention. You just need to decide every single day that you're going to lead yourself instead of follow the noise. So tomorrow, don't just wake up. Rise with purpose. Open your eyes and lock in. Before the world demands your attention, demand clarity from yourself. Write your goals, speak them, own them, and then go live them. This is how you win. Not someday, but today. Starting now. Take control of your day before it begins. Win your morning, and the rest of your life will follow. Chapter 3. Track your habits every evening to measure consistent improvement. If you never measure how you're living, how will you ever know if you're truly growing? The truth is, most people are not stuck because they lack effort. They're stuck because they're not tracking it. They wake up, they try, they push through the day, but at night, they never pause to ask themselves the most important question of all. Did I actually move forward today? Not in theory, not emotionally, but tangibly, measurably, truthfully. And this is where real transformation begins, not in some future plan, not in some big idea, but in the quiet honesty of your evening habits. If you want to elevate your life, you must hold yourself accountable daily, because progress that's not tracked becomes invisible. And invisible progress feels like failure, even when it's not. Every evening is an opportunity to reflect, to audit, to confront who you were today, and decide who you'll be tomorrow. It's not about perfection, it's not about guilt, it's about awareness. When you track your habits at night, you shine a light on your behavior. You bring clarity to your patterns. You expose your excuses. And that honesty is what creates lasting change. Imagine ending each day, not in confusion or self-doubt, but with a deep sense of clarity. Knowing exactly where you stood strong and exactly where you slipped. That clarity is power. It gives you data. It gives you insight. It gives you direction. And when you know what's working and what's not, you don't have to guess how to grow. You already know. But here's the problem. People avoid this. They don't want to face the truth. Because the moment you start tracking your habits, you start realizing how often you lie to yourself. You said you'd read for an hour, but you scrolled instead. You promised yourself you'd eat clean, but the excuses showed up. You said you'd stay calm today, but your emotions took over, and that hurts. But it also heals, because now you can see it. Now you can own it. And once you own it, you can fix it. Change doesn't happen by accident. Growth doesn't happen by wishing. You don't become disciplined by talking about it. You become disciplined by watching yourself daily, by noticing the small wins and the small losses, by keeping a record that doesn't lie, that doesn't flatter, that doesn't justify. Just cold, honest, powerful truth. That's how warriors are made. You don't need to track everything, just the things that actually shape your future. Did you stick to your workout? Did you keep your word to yourself? Did you stay away from distractions? Did you control your attitude? Did you do the things you promised yourself you would? That's the scorecard. That's how you measure alignment. Because it doesn't matter how motivated you felt if you didn't take the action. It doesn't matter how busy you were if the things that matter were ignored. Every evening before the world goes quiet, you owe yourself 10 minutes. 10 minutes to face the day you lived. 10 minutes to check the scoreboard. Not to beat yourself up. Not to brag, but to take ownership. You don't grow from what you ignore. You grow from what you confront. And when you track your habits each night, you become a student of your own life. You start noticing patterns. You realize the same things keep triggering your setbacks. You notice how often you break your word. You see the patterns of distraction, the patterns of strength, the moments of weakness, and the decisions that led to them. That awareness makes you dangerous, because now you have leverage. Now you can make real changes. And here's the secret, just the act of tracking changes you. It rewires your brain. When you know you have to write down what you did each evening, you start thinking twice during the day. You pause before you quit. You hesitate before you scroll. You remember your goals before you give in to comfort. Because now the mirror is waiting, and you want to face it with pride. Most people don't do this because it's uncomfortable. But so is being stuck. So is regret. So is waking up year after year feeling like nothing's really changed. You have to decide which pain you're willing to face, the temporary discomfort of honesty, or the permanent disappointment of drifting. You can't expect results from habits you don't track. You can't demand growth from effort you don't measure. You want to be consistent. Then you need a record. You want to feel progress. Then you need proof. Not feelings. Not guesses. Numbers. Patterns. Data. The facts. Because the mind will lie to protect your ego. But your habits, the ones you write down, they don't lie. And it doesn't take much. A notebook, a checklist, a habit tracking app. Whatever works. The method doesn't matter. The commitment does. You need to make it non-negotiable. Just like brushing your teeth. Just like locking the doors. Every night you track. You review. You reflect. And you reset. That reset is everything. Because no matter how the day went, you get to decide how tomorrow begins. If you fell short, you adjust. If you won, you double down. That's how you keep evolving. That's how you stay locked in. And that's how you build momentum that doesn't fade. Some nights you'll feel proud. Others, disappointed. But every night you'll feel clear, and that clarity becomes confidence. Not the fake kind that comes from hype, but the real kind that comes from self-awareness. Because you're not guessing anymore. You know who you are. You see how you're living, and you own it fully. You'll start noticing a shift in how you carry yourself. You'll trust yourself more. You'll catch your own excuses faster. You'll stop living in the emotional fog that clouds most people's lives. Because now you've got structure. You've got direction. You've got accountability. And all of that came from the simple choice to track. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to become aware, to become intentional, to become honest. Because when you know what's real, you can work with it. You can fix what's broken. You can reinforce what's strong. You can adjust your strategy, not your standards. And soon your days stop blending into each other. Each day becomes a mission. Each habit becomes a step. Each step becomes a brick. And brick by brick, you start building a version of yourself that's focused, consistent, and unshakable. Not because you had some magical breakthrough, but because you stayed consistent with what most people ignore. This is the edge you've been looking for. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. But it's effective. The most elite performers in any field are relentless with self-measurement. They don't wait for motivation. They don't guess how they're doing. They track. They reflect. They adjust. And that's what separates them from everyone else. You want to level up? Then start tracking. Want to break a bad habit? Track it. Want to build a new one? Track it. Want to stop feeling lost? Track what you're actually doing. Every answer you need is already in your behavior. You just haven't been looking closely enough. This is how you break the loop of inconsistency. This is how you stop feeling like your days are wasted. This is how you stop fooling yourself into thinking effort alone is enough. Because it's not. Measured effort is what creates results. And those results become the evidence you need to stay committed. So don't let another night pass where you lay in bed unsure of whether you lived with purpose. Take control. Look at your actions. Ask yourself the hard questions. Did I follow through today? Did I move forward today? Did I become stronger today? Write it down. Own it. Learn from it. And then, most importantly, reset. Tomorrow is waiting, and when it comes you'll be ready. Not because you're perfect, but because you're prepared, because you've seen yourself clearly, because you've built self-trust through daily accountability. And that trust will carry you through the hard days, through the doubt, through the chaos. Tracking your habits every evening isn't just about improvement. It's about identity. Every time you track, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who takes their life seriously, that you are someone who refuses to drift, that you are someone who's committed to growth, no matter how long it takes. So tonight, make the decision. Don't just crash into sleep. Don't just replay the chaos of the day in your head. Sit down, reflect, write, track, and transform. Because the life you want doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's built piece by piece, one tracked habit at a time. Start now, not tomorrow, not next week. Tonight, sit down. Write down the key habits you wanted to live today. Did you do them? Be honest. No sugarcoating, no rationalizing, just truth. And then let that truth guide you to better decisions tomorrow. This is how you escape mediocrity. This is how you crush the loop of almost. This is how you evolve. One night at a time. One habit at a time. One decision at a time. Track your habits. Track your growth. Track your life. And never again let a single day pass without knowing exactly who you were and who you're becoming. Chapter 4. Prioritize your tasks each day to boost your focus. You are not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You are overwhelmed because you haven't decided what actually matters. Every day, your time is slipping through your fingers. Your focus is bleeding into tasks that don't move your life forward. You wake up with energy, but by the afternoon, you're exhausted and scattered. Not because you didn't try, but because you tried to do everything instead of doing the right things. And the hard truth is, if you don't prioritize your day, someone else will. If you don't take command of your hours, the world will hijack your time with its noise, distractions, and demands. The secret to clarity, focus, and meaningful progress lies in one simple but brutally effective discipline: learning to prioritize your tasks before the day begins. This one habit can pull you out of chaos and put you back in control, because the most powerful person in the room is never the busiest. They're the one who knows exactly what deserves their energy and ruthlessly ignores the rest. And that's where most people get stuck. They confuse movement with progress. They check boxes. They chase urgency. They respond to every message, attend every meeting, handle every request. But when the day ends, they feel empty. They've spent the entire day reacting to other people's priorities while their own dreams collect dust. You have to get angry with that. You have to wake up and realize your life is being buried under tasks that don't matter. You weren't born to be busy. You were born to build something meaningful. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by focus. And focus begins with prioritization. Imagine waking up and knowing exactly what must get done, not what would be nice, not what looks productive, but what truly moves your life, your purpose, and your goals forward. That level of clarity can cut through any fog. That kind of direction makes you unstoppable, because when your priorities are clear, your decisions are easy. You stop getting distracted by things that seem urgent but mean nothing. You stop falling for the illusion that doing more is the key. And you start realizing that doing less but better is the true path to mastery. But prioritization is not just a to-do list. It's not scribbling down a bunch of tasks and hoping for the best. It's a strategic process of asking yourself, what is the most valuable thing I can do today? If I could only complete one thing, what would have the biggest impact? What will actually move the needle? What will bring me closer to the life I want to live? You cannot answer those questions passively. You must think deeply. You must challenge your assumptions. You must separate what's essential from what's merely convenient. That's the mental work most people avoid, but it's the very work that makes you powerful. Your mind has a limited bandwidth. You cannot treat every task as equal and expect to feel focused. That's like watering every plant in a garden the same, even the weeds. The result? Growth, but in the wrong places. You're not short on discipline. You're not lazy. You're just giving energy to things that don't deserve it. The truth is, prioritization is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. First, because when you knock out the most important task early, you create momentum. You feel accomplished. You start seeing results. And that fuels your drive to stay consistent. But when you spend your morning chasing small tasks, you dilute your energy, you build up stress. And by the time you reach what actually matters, you're already drained. That's why you need to sit down every morning and take 10 focused minutes to set your priorities. Not your whole day, just the top 3 things that will make the biggest difference, and then you commit. You attack those first, before emails, before calls, before distractions. You go to war with what matters most, and you don't stop until it's done. You don't need more time. You need better priorities. You don't need more motivation. You need more clarity. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not superhuman. They're just obsessive about protecting their focus. They know that every yes is a no to something else. So they stop saying yes to everything. They filter their time like their life depends on it, because it does. And maybe you've struggled with this. Maybe you've tried to organize your day before, and it didn't stick. But here's why you didn't connect your priorities to your purpose. You made a list, but you didn't feel the why behind it. Your brain doesn't commit to tasks it doesn't emotionally care about. So if you want to make your prioritization stick, you need to link each task to something meaningful. Ask yourself, why does this task matter? What will completing this unlock for me? What's the cost of not doing this? Turn your priorities into missions, not chores. When you elevate the meaning behind your actions, your brain gets on board. Your discipline strengthens. Your focus sharpens. Because now you're not just doing a task, you're building a life. And don't think prioritizing your day means your schedule will be perfect. Life will interrupt you. Plans will fall apart. But that's not the point. The point is direction. The point is knowing what deserves your attention, so that even when you get knocked off course, you can return to what matters without hesitation. Some people go their whole lives confusing busyness with purpose. They build careers on productivity, only to wake up decades later realizing they climbed the wrong ladder. That is the tragedy of an unprioritized life. Not failure, but success in the wrong direction. Don't let that be you. You don't get clarity by accident. You create it by force. You carve it out each morning with intention. You strip away the noise, the fluff, the distractions, and you zero in on what moves you forward. That's not just a productivity hack. That's a way of living. And over time, that habit compounds. You start achieving more in a week than most people do in a month. Not because you're working longer, but because you're working smarter. You stop wasting energy. You stop second-guessing. You stop chasing approval. You start making decisions like someone who values their time. And that changes everything. People will wonder how you're doing so much, so fast. They'll assume you've unlocked some secret. And the truth is you have. You've learned the one habit that separates dreamers from achievers, the ability to decide what matters and commit to it without compromise. That's what prioritization is. It's choosing your future before the day even begins. It's looking at your goals and saying, this is what matters. This is what I will do. And I will not betray myself by getting lost in noise. That kind of self-respect daily builds confidence that doesn't shake when life gets hard. It builds focus that doesn't fade when temptations arise. You won't always feel like sticking to your priorities. That's normal. But feelings don't dictate your future, your choices do. And when you build the habit of deciding what's important every day, even your worst days become productive. Because you're not guessing, you're not reacting, you're executing a plan designed by your higher self. So tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before you check your inbox, before the world claws at your time, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what are the 3 things I must complete today to move forward? Write them down. Protect them like they're sacred. Because they are. Your ability to focus is your most valuable currency. Don't spend it on tasks that don't matter. Invest it in actions that create real progress. Prioritize with discipline. Execute with intensity. Reflect with honesty. And watch as your days transform from scattered efforts into focused victories. This is the edge. This is the difference between potential and performance, between dreaming and doing, between existing and building. You are not here to chase 100 things. You are here to master a few things that actually matter. The rest is noise. Cut it. Make your day count, not by cramming it full, but by choosing what matters and giving it everything you've got. That's how legacies are built. That's how dreams become real. That's how you live a life of purpose, progress, and power, one prioritized day at a time. Now go. Write down your top priorities for tomorrow. Not 10, not 5, just the 3 that matter most. Commit to them, honor them, and execute them like your future depends on it. Because it does. Chapter 5. Eliminate one distraction every hour to maintain clear attention. Distraction is the silent assassin of your potential, and every single hour you let it steal your focus, you lose a piece of your future. Have you ever sat down to work, feeling motivated, only to find your mind drifting? Maybe your phone buzzes with a notification, or a random thought pulls you away, or your environment fills with noise that fractures your concentration. That moment you lose attention is the moment your progress stalls, your momentum breaks, and your goals slip further away. The biggest enemy to your success isn't lack of talent or time, it's distraction. But what if you could fight back? What if you could reclaim your attention, piece by piece, hour by hour? Imagine building a fortress around your mind, where distractions are systematically eliminated before they have the chance to drain your energy and scatter your thoughts. This isn't a fantasy, it's a strategy rooted in discipline and choice, and it can transform the way you live and work. The truth is, distractions aren't just random annoyances, they are traps designed to fracture your focus and steal your energy. Social media, emails, endless notifications, background noise, these all act like sirens calling you away from what truly matters. And the more you give in, the harder it becomes to return to deep, meaningful work. Your mind gets fragmented, your productivity diminishes, and your sense of accomplishment fades. If you want to take back control, start by eliminating just one distraction every hour. That's it, one small, intentional cut every 60 minutes. This simple practice compounds quickly. Hour by hour, you remove the clutter that chokes your attention, and soon you'll find your mind clearer, your work sharper, and your days more productive. The power of this approach lies in its simplicity and consistency. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in one day. You don't need to eradicate every distraction at once. That's overwhelming and unrealistic. Instead, you make a series of small, deliberate choices, each one a battle won. Over time, these victories build a mental fortress that no distraction can breach. Imagine how this feels. 1 hour in, you've silenced your phone notifications. Your focus deepens. 2 hours in, you've closed unnecessary tabs on your browser, blocking the temptation to wander. 3 hours in, you've created a quiet workspace, removing background noise. Each hour, you clear one new distraction, tightening your grip on your attention and expanding your capacity to focus. Distraction doesn't just steal your time, it steals your confidence and your willpower. When your mind is constantly pulled in multiple directions, it's exhausting. You end the day drained, wondering where all your energy went, why you didn't get more done, and why your goals feel so distant. But by eliminating distractions one at a time, you protect your mental energy. You conserve your willpower. You become the master of your own attention. This practice is more than productivity. It's a form of self-respect. When you choose to eliminate distractions, you're telling yourself that your goals, your dreams, and your time are valuable. You're drawing a line in the sand, declaring that you will not settle for a scattered, half-lived life. You are committed to creating space in your mind where focus can grow, where progress can flourish, and where you can feel the satisfaction of deep work. And yes, this will require discipline. Distractions are often designed to be addictive and relentless. They are engineered to capture your mind's attention with bright colors, sounds, and social rewards. But the moment you recognize them as enemies of your focus, their power diminishes. Every time you remove one distraction, you reclaim a piece of your willpower and strengthen your resolve. You might wonder, how do I even begin? Which distraction do I eliminate first? The answer lies in awareness. Pay attention to what pulls your mind away most frequently. Is it your phone? The constant ping of messages? The endless scroll of social media? The noise of your environment? Start there. Pick the biggest, most obvious distraction and remove it for 1 hour. No exceptions. Then, once that's under control, move to the next. Maybe it's the temptation to check emails constantly. Turn off email notifications. Schedule specific times to check your inbox instead of letting it interrupt your work. The next distraction could be a noisy workspace. Use noise-canceling headphones or find a quieter place. The key is to chip away gradually, consistently. This is not a battle you fight once. It's a daily war. Distractions will try to creep back in. That's normal. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is the refusal to surrender. Every hour, renew your commitment to focus. Eliminate one new distraction. Protect your attention as if your life depends on it, because it does. The ripple effects of this habit are profound. Your productivity will soar. Your mental clarity will sharpen. You'll feel less overwhelmed and more in control. Even your stress levels will drop because a scattered mind breeds anxiety. With fewer distractions, your brain has the freedom to engage deeply, solve problems creatively, and make decisions confidently. And here's the secret: this practice builds momentum. The longer you maintain it, the easier it becomes. Your brain rewires itself to resist interruptions. Your habits strengthen. Your identity shifts. You become the kind of person who commands attention and respects their own time. You become unstoppable. But remember, this isn't about perfection. You won't eliminate every distraction forever. Life is unpredictable, and interruptions will happen. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each distraction you remove is a victory. Each hour of focused attention is a step toward mastery. If you're serious about your growth, start today. Set a timer for 1 hour. Choose one distraction to eliminate during that time. Turn off your phone notifications, close social media, clear your workspace, whatever pulls you away from focus. Commit to giving that hour your full attention. When the timer goes off, reflect on how it felt. Did your mind feel clearer? Was your work more meaningful? Notice the difference. Then repeat, hour after hour, day after day. This small but powerful habit compounds into massive results. You reclaim your attention. You fuel your ambitions. You build the kind of mental discipline that makes your goals inevitable. You deserve this level of focus. You deserve to live a life where your energy is spent on what truly matters. And that begins with the simple act of eliminating one distraction every hour. Take control of your mind now. Choose your distractions wisely. Cut them out ruthlessly. Protect your attention fiercely. Your future depends on it. Go ahead. Start your first distraction-free hour now. Turn off your phone. Close those tabs. Clear your space. Step into the power of undistracted focus and watch your life transform. Chapter 6. Practice mindful breathing 3 times a day to calm mind. Your mind is the battlefield where your success is won or lost, and the way you breathe can be the weapon that claims victory over chaos. Right now, your mind might be racing, your thoughts swirling like a storm you cannot control. Maybe stress is gripping your chest, anxiety gnaws at your focus, or overwhelm clouds your clarity. This is the invisible prison so many people live inside, trapped by tension, scattered by worry, drowning in noise. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's a powerful, simple tool that anyone can use, anywhere, anytime, and it costs nothing. It's the very breath you take every moment, and when practiced mindfully, it has the power to transform your entire day. Imagine being able to press pause on your mental chaos, to reset your emotional state, and reclaim your calm in minutes. This is the magic of mindful breathing practiced 3 times every day. It's not just about inhaling and exhaling, it's about consciously anchoring your mind in the present moment, calming the nervous system, and tuning out the noise that threatens to overwhelm you. Why 3 times a day? Because your mind and body don't stay calm on their own. Life's demands pull you in all directions, and stress builds like static in the background. A single session of mindful breathing can clear the air temporarily, but repeated practice throughout the day rewires your nervous system. It strengthens your ability to return to calmness, no matter what chaos surrounds you. 3 mindful breaths taken intentionally at key moments become a fortress of peace you carry inside yourself. The first time you practice, you might feel restless, your thoughts bouncing like ping-pong balls. That's normal. The mind is not used to being still, especially when it's been trained to chase distractions, but keep going. Each session is a victory over your mental habits that feed anxiety and distraction. Each breath becomes a moment of liberation, a tiny rebellion against stress. To begin, find a moment where you can be still. Sit or stand comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish, or soften your gaze. Start by simply noticing your breath, the coolness of the air entering your nostrils, the gentle rise and fall of your chest or belly. Don't try to control it, just observe it. This simple act of observation is your first step toward mastery. Then slowly deepen your breath. Inhale steadily through your nose for a count of 4, hold gently for a count of 4, exhale fully through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. Feel the tension drain out of your body with each exhale. Feel your mind settle, like a storm calming into still water. This practice isn't just a pause, it's a reset button for your brain chemistry. When you breathe mindfully, your parasympathetic nervous system activates, slowing your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure, and reducing stress hormones flooding your body. You literally change your body's state from fight or flight to rest and repair in minutes. This is not theory, it's science you can experience for yourself. Between work tasks, before a meeting, when you wake up or before sleep, these are perfect moments to anchor your day with mindful breathing. Each session is like hitting the refresh key on your mind. It gives you clarity and calm that no pill or external distraction can provide. This is the power you hold every moment, waiting to be tapped. If you think you're too busy for this, realize that your busyness is exactly why you need it. Mindful breathing doesn't take time away. It returns your time to you. When your mind is calm, your decisions become sharper, your creativity flows easier, and your energy doesn't leak through stress cracks. Those few minutes invested multiply your productivity many times over. The emotional benefits are just as profound. Stress and anxiety often feel like relentless waves crashing over you. Mindful breathing builds resilience to those waves. It creates a safe harbor inside yourself where you can retreat and gather strength. Over time, this practice rewires your brain's response to stress. You become less reactive and more composed. Your emotions become manageable allies instead of overwhelming enemies. Many people mistakenly believe that calmness is something external, a vacation, a quiet place, a break from work. But true calmness is internal. It's a muscle you build through practice, not a luxury you wait to afford. Mindful breathing is the most accessible gym for your inner calm. The more you train, the stronger your peace becomes. You may wonder if such a simple act can really change your life. Let me tell you about Maya, a young professional who was drowning in anxiety and sleepless nights. She started practicing mindful breathing 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, mid-afternoon slump, and before bed. At first it felt strange and awkward, but after a few weeks, she noticed her mind was quieter, her sleep improved. She could face stress without panic. Her relationships deepened because she was more present. Maya's story isn't unique. It's the story of anyone willing to commit to this small but powerful habit. Even if you're skeptical, give it a chance. The act of focusing on your breath is a doorway to the present moment, the only moment where peace exists. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This gentle correction builds mindfulness and patience. Over time, you develop an inner anchor that keeps you steady even in the stormiest times. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. Practicing mindful breathing once won't magically fix everything, but practicing it 3 times a day, every day changes the trajectory of your life. It's the slow drip of water that carves the rock. It's the repeated practice that rewires your brain for calm and clarity. By making mindful breathing a priority, you also send a message to yourself: your well-being matters. You value your mental health as much as your physical health. You acknowledge that your mind deserves rest, attention, and care. This shift in mindset alone is transformative because it breaks the cycle of neglect that fuels burnout. Imagine how different your day would be if you started it with calm instead of chaos. If you took a moment in the afternoon to reset instead of spiraling into overwhelm. If you ended your day by soothing your nervous system instead of racing thoughts. These moments of mindful breathing become your lifelines. They reconnect you with your center and empower you to navigate life with resilience and grace. If you want to build this habit, start small, set reminders on your phone, or tie your breathing practice to daily rituals after brushing your teeth, during lunch, or before stepping into your car. Make it simple, accessible, and non-negotiable. Over time, you'll find that mindful breathing becomes second nature, a natural response whenever stress threatens. Your breath is always with you, a constant companion in every moment. It doesn't judge you, demand more, or criticize. It invites you back to yourself. When you practice mindful breathing 3 times a day, you create a powerful cycle of calm and clarity that ripples out into every area of your life. This is not just a technique, it's a life-changing commitment to your own peace. Start today. Take 3 mindful breaths right now. Feel the air enter your lungs, hold the calm, Release the tension. With every breath, claim your power over your mind and emotions. Don't wait for peace to find you. Take it into your own hands. Make mindful breathing your daily anchor. Let it calm your mind, steady your heart, and sharpen your focus. Your life will never be the same. Breathe deeply, breathe fully, and watch how the world opens up when your mind finally finds stillness. Chapter 7. Challenge yourself with small new tasks to build confidence. If you want to feel unstoppable, start by doing the things you keep avoiding. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build brick by brick, task by task, choice by choice. And the truth is, it doesn't take a giant leap or some life-altering breakthrough to begin. It takes one small challenge, one new step into something uncomfortable, one moment of courage that starts to reshape how you see yourself, because the person you become tomorrow depends entirely on the actions you take today. And it all begins with pushing yourself to do just a little more than you did yesterday. Right now, you might be stuck. You might feel unsure of yourself. Maybe your mind is filled with self-doubt, constantly whispering that you're not ready, not smart enough, not strong enough. Maybe you've been playing it safe, avoiding challenges because you're afraid of failing. But let me tell you something you need to hear. The only thing standing between who you are and who you want to be is the courage to try something new today. It doesn't have to be a big task. In fact, it shouldn't be. Start with something small. Send that email you've been hesitating to send. Speak up once in a meeting. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Go for a 10-minute walk. Challenge yourself with something that makes your mind slightly resist. That tiny discomfort is your gateway to transformation. Because every time you lean into something unfamiliar, you rewire your brain. You prove to yourself that you can handle more. And confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from the willingness to act, even when success isn't guaranteed. Think about it. What if every single day you decided to do just one thing that made you a little uncomfortable? Not reckless, not overwhelming. Just something that stretches you slightly. Over time, you would start to see yourself differently. You would stop hesitating. You would stop doubting. You'd begin to trust yourself more. Because that trust is built through experience, not theory. You earn it every time you face a new task and take action despite fear. Let me share a story with you. There was a man named Elijah. For years, he doubted himself so much that he barely spoke in group settings. He felt invisible. He thought he had nothing valuable to say. One day, he made a commitment to speak one sentence in every meeting he attended. Just one sentence. Not a speech. Not a debate. Just a small statement, once a day. The first few times, he felt his voice shake. His heart raced. But he did it. Day by day, he kept speaking. One sentence turned into two. Two turned into an idea. An idea turned into respect. Confidence started to grow, not because he had mastered public speaking, but because he had dared to challenge himself in a small way. Over time, Elijah became a leader, not by waiting to feel ready, but by creating readiness through action. That's the path. It's not glamorous. It's not instant, but it's real. You don't need to wait for a breakthrough. You need to build one, and you build it by choosing courage over comfort, again and again in the small moments that no one else sees but you. Ask yourself right now, what's one thing I've been avoiding that I know would make me better? What's one challenge I've been putting off because it feels uncomfortable? Whatever it is, do it today. Don't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect moment. Action creates clarity. Action builds momentum. And most importantly, action creates the emotional evidence that says, I am capable. There's a deep lie we all battle. The idea that confidence must come before action, that we need to feel certain before we take the first step. But in reality, it's the opposite. Action creates confidence. Repetition builds belief. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The readiness comes after the doing, not before. And the most powerful part, the more small tasks you conquer, the more they stack. It's like laying bricks to build a foundation. Each brick may seem insignificant on its own, but keep laying them, and suddenly you've built something solid. You've built belief in yourself that no one can take away. That kind of confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to shout. It's quiet. It's steady. It's earned. And once you have it, you stop fearing new challenges. You start chasing them. You begin to crave growth because you know discomfort is no longer a threat. It's an invitation. You stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, how can I stretch myself today? That shift changes everything. It changes how you show up in conversations. It changes how you deal with setbacks. It changes how you pursue your goals. You stop playing small, not because the fear is gone, but because your commitment to growth is bigger than your fear. And here's another truth. Most people will never do this. Most people will stay stuck, not because they're incapable, but because they refuse to challenge themselves in small, consistent ways. That's your advantage. That's your edge. If you're willing to do what most won't, you'll achieve what most can't. So let today be the start of something different. Pick one new task, something just beyond your current comfort zone. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for inspiration. Just act. Maybe it's trying a new workout. Maybe it's calling someone you've been avoiding. Maybe it's starting that project you've been scared to fail at. Whatever it is, take the first step. Then tomorrow, do another. Keep doing this until the habit of stepping into challenge becomes part of who you are. You'll be amazed at how fast your self-image begins to shift. The things that once intimidated you will start to feel routine, and the things that once felt impossible will start to feel within reach. You'll realize that confidence isn't something you have or don't have. It's something you cultivate. It's something you create every time you prove to yourself that you can take action despite discomfort. And don't let failure stop you. Every challenge comes with risk. Sometimes you'll mess up. Sometimes you'll fall short. But those moments are just as valuable because they teach you resilience. They teach you to get up. They remind you that you're still growing. Confidence isn't perfection. It's perseverance. Start now. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for certainty. Choose something small and new. Challenge yourself. Build momentum. And keep building. Over time you'll become someone you respect. Someone who doesn't run from fear, but moves through it. Someone who believes in their ability to grow. One bold action at a time. This is how you transform. Not in one giant leap, but in thousands of intentional steps. Every small challenge you face today plants a seed of strength you'll harvest tomorrow. Keep planting. Keep growing. Keep becoming. You don't need anyone else's permission to rise. Just your own decision to try. So go. Choose the task. Face the resistance. Build your confidence, one new challenge at a time, and never stop. The best version of you is waiting on the other side of discomfort, and now you know how to get there. Chapter 8. Review your wins weekly to reinforce positive self-belief. If you never take the time to see how far you've come, you'll always feel like you're going nowhere. There's something dangerous about constantly pushing forward without ever looking back to acknowledge your progress. It creates a silent illusion, the feeling that you're not improving, that your efforts are meaningless, that you're stuck. But you're not stuck. You're simply blind to your own growth. And that blindness is the enemy of belief. Every win you've had, no matter how small, is proof. Proof that you're capable. Proof that you're growing. Proof that you are not the same person you used to be. And yet, most people forget to collect that proof. They only focus on what's missing, what's not working, what they haven't achieved. That mindset slowly corrodes their confidence from the inside out. Not because they're failing, but because they've forgotten how often they've already succeeded. That's why reviewing your wins is not just helpful, it's necessary. You need to actively remind yourself, every single week, that you are building something, you are creating momentum, you are showing up, even when it's hard. That repetition of reflection is how you begin to program belief into your identity. You stop seeing yourself through the lens of doubt and start seeing yourself through the lens of progress. Let's be honest. Life moves fast. It's easy to get caught up in the grind and forget the victories you've already earned. Maybe you handled a difficult conversation better than last time. Maybe you stuck to your routine when you didn't feel like it. Maybe you pushed through a day where everything felt heavy, but you still didn't quit. These aren't just minor details. They are significant indicators that you're evolving. But if you never stop to capture them, you'll lose the chance to let them reinforce your self-worth. Think about how often your brain replays your mistakes. Think about how quickly you remember the one thing you did wrong in a day filled with dozens of right decisions. That's how the human mind is wired, to look for threats, to remember pain, to highlight failures. But you can rewire it. You can train it to also focus on wins, to collect strength, to build pride instead of shame. That's how confidence is constructed, through intentional reflection that proves to your subconscious, again and again, that you are improving. So here's the simple challenge. At the end of every week, take time to review your wins. Write them down, say them out loud. Relive them in your mind. Feel what it meant to overcome something. Don't wait for external validation. Validate yourself through evidence. Let your progress speak louder than your doubts. And don't fall into the trap of thinking your wins need to be big to matter. They don't. The size of the win is irrelevant. What matters is that it represents movement forward. It shows that you made a choice that aligns with your growth. Whether you resisted an old habit, spoke with more honesty, or simply stayed consistent, that counts. You need to internalize that, because the more you acknowledge those small wins, the stronger your belief becomes. Self-belief doesn't appear out of thin air. It's built from emotional proof. It's constructed from memories that tell your nervous system, I did that, I survived that, I overcame that. Without those reminders, your mind forgets. It defaults to fear. But when you deliberately focus on your wins, your psychology changes. You walk differently. You speak with more conviction. You start to expect success, not doubt it. I want you to imagine a version of yourself who tracks their growth relentlessly. Someone who never lets a week pass without recognizing progress. That version of you is powerful because they're grounded in truth, not in security. They know who they are becoming, and because they keep reminding themselves, they accelerate the transformation. That's not just motivation. That's strategy. You're in a world that constantly reminds you of what you lack. Social media shows you highlight reels. People talk about achievements, But very few people take the time to reflect on the real, meaningful, internal progress they've made. That's your advantage. If you make this a habit, this weekly review of wins, you begin building unshakable confidence from within. No one can give that to you, but no one can take it from you either. When you document your wins, you create a mirror that shows you how strong you've become. On the days when you feel weak, that mirror will be your evidence. On the days when doubt creeps in, that mirror becomes your reminder. And when the world goes silent, when no one claps for your progress, you'll have something even better: self-respect. The key is consistency. Make it non-negotiable. Set aside time every week, maybe Sunday night or Friday evening. Sit down and reflect. What did I do well this week? What resistance did I overcome? Where did I improve, even slightly? Let your answers become your fuel. Let them become your story. Because we all live according to the story we believe about ourselves. Change that story, and you change everything. And here's the truth: most people miss what you focus on expands. If you keep focusing on what's wrong, you'll keep feeling stuck. If you focus on your progress, you'll feel more empowered. Your energy will shift. Your mindset will strengthen. You'll start to expect yourself to win, because you've already seen the evidence that you can. Let me tell you about someone who used this practice to change their life. Her name was Rachel. For years she struggled with self-doubt. No matter what she achieved, it never felt like enough. Then she started doing one thing differently. She reviewed her wins every Sunday. She'd sit down with a notebook and write 3 things she was proud of from that week. The first few times, it felt forced. But then something shifted. She started noticing more of her own strength. She started catching herself in moments of growth. Eventually, her self-image transformed. Not because she became someone new, but because she finally saw who she already was. And from that place of belief, she went on to lead, inspire, and achieve more than she ever thought possible. That's what happens when you reflect intentionally. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become more aware of the strength that's already in you. That awareness turns into belief, and belief is the foundation for everything: your decisions, your habits, your courage. So here's what I want you to do. Starting this week, create a ritual. Every 7 days, stop and ask yourself, what did I win at this week? How did I grow? What challenge did I face and handle better than before? Make it real. Write it. Speak it. Feel it. Let it become your emotional proof that you're not stagnant. You're not broken. You're evolving. The world won't always notice your growth, but you must. Because when you do, you reinforce your own value. You train your brain to associate effort with progress. And when you see progress, even in small ways, you keep going. You keep believing. You keep building. Don't underestimate this habit. This is the kind of practice that rewires your entire life. Because when you learn to spot your wins, your identity begins to shift. You stop chasing approval and start embodying confidence. You stop feeling behind and start feeling aligned. You stop doubting and start leading. This is how you start to win deeply, not just externally, but internally. Wins that no one else can see, but you feel. Wins that reshape how you talk to yourself, how you approach obstacles, how you carry yourself when no one's watching. Your self-belief is your most valuable asset, and every weekly review of your wins is a deposit into that asset. It compounds, it strengthens, it transforms you from the inside out. So take this seriously. Make it a discipline. Do it when you feel like a champion. Do it when you feel like a mess, especially then, because in those messy weeks, you'll discover something even more powerful, the resilience to keep going, even when it's hard. And that too is a win worth remembering. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay conscious of your evolution. Your growth is happening. Don't miss it. Don't dismiss it. Recognize it. Celebrate it. Let it build your belief brick by brick until you stand in front of your goals and say, I'm ready. I've earned this. I've proven it to myself over and over again. Start today. Review your wins. See how far you've come. Let that truth drive you forward. And never forget, you're already becoming the person you've always wanted to be. Keep going. You're doing better than you think. Chapter 9. Seek honest feedback regularly to accelerate personal growth journey. If no one is telling you the truth about yourself, you might be living a lie that's holding you back from becoming who you're meant to be. Most people avoid feedback like it's poison. They see it as criticism, as rejection, as an attack on their worth. But what they fail to see is that feedback, real, raw, honest feedback, is a mirror that reveals the blind spots you've ignored, the habits you've downplayed, the gaps between who you are and who you could be. And until you face that mirror with humility and hunger, growth will be slow, fragile, and often delusional. The truth is hard to swallow, but it's also what sets you free. If you only surround yourself with comfort, you'll never feel the sharp edge of growth slicing through your limitations. You'll keep operating in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, wondering why you feel stuck, why your progress is shallow, why you never break through. It's not that you aren't trying, it's that you're not being challenged by truth. The people who grow the fastest aren't the smartest or the most talented, they're the most self-aware. And self-awareness doesn't come from staring in the mirror and guessing. It comes from asking others what they see, what they hear, what they experience when they're around you. It comes from listening, not defending, accepting, not resisting, processing, not ignoring. You want to level up your life. Then you need someone who's not afraid to tell you when you're lying to yourself. Someone who sees the gaps in your performance, your attitude, your discipline, and who cares enough to call you out. Not because they want to tear you down, but because they believe in the version of you that's still trying to break through the surface. But here's the hard part. Most people don't want to give you that kind of feedback. Not because they don't care, but because they know most people can't handle it. So you have to earn it. You have to invite it. You have to make it safe for people to tell you the truth. And then you have to prove, through your actions, not your words, that you're not just asking to feel good. You're asking to grow. Growth doesn't come from validation. It comes from friction, from being told what's not working, from hearing the uncomfortable truths that sting at first, but ultimately awaken you to what's possible. You can't fix what you don't see, and you'll never see it all by yourself. That's why feedback is the fuel for transformation. Think about this. How much farther could you be if you had received and acted on honest feedback every week for the last 5 years? How many mistakes could you have avoided? How many strengths could you have maximized? How much closer would you be to the life you truly want? That's the opportunity in front of you right now. Not to guess your way forward, but to listen your way forward. To ask, to learn, to evolve. Let me tell you something powerful. The truth doesn't break you. It builds you. It builds your character, your resilience, your adaptability. When someone gives you feedback, it's a chance to sharpen your edge, to close the gap between your intentions and your impact, To stop assuming you're doing everything right and start becoming someone who actually gets results. In your career, your relationships, your goals. But here's the warning: feedback only helps if you act on it. Listening isn't enough. Nodding and agreeing isn't enough. You have to let it reshape your behavior. Otherwise, it's just noise. You don't grow by knowing the truth. You grow by living it, applying it, embodying it. And not all feedback is created equal. You don't need 10 random opinions. You need trusted, high-standard people who understand your mission and want you to succeed. People who are willing to be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. People who aren't impressed by your image, but invested in your evolution. That's rare. But if you find them, hold on to them, and ask them questions that matter. Ask them, what am I not seeing about myself? Where do I show up small? What habits are slowing me down? What do you think is stopping me from reaching the next level? Don't ask for compliments, ask for clarity, ask for the truth. And when you get it, don't flinch. Let it hit. Let it teach. Let it change you. There's a kind of power that comes from facing your weaknesses head on. It's the power of self-respect, of knowing you're not running from your flaws, you're fixing them. You're shaping yourself into someone who's dangerous in the best way. Someone who can handle reality and still rise. That kind of strength makes you unstoppable, because when you stop fearing what others see, you start becoming who you were always meant to be. You'll notice something else too. When you start asking for feedback consistently, your environment changes. People begin to respect you differently. They see your hunger. They trust your growth. They watch you evolve in real time, and it inspires them to do the same. You don't just grow yourself, you raise the standard for everyone around you. This is how champions operate. They don't wait to be corrected. They chase correction. They know the faster they get feedback, the faster they can improve. They're not fragile. They're focused. They're not worried about being perfect. They're obsessed with becoming better. You're not meant to walk this path alone. No one sees everything clearly. Even the best in the world have coaches, mentors, advisors, people who refine them. If you're serious about growth, you'll humble yourself enough to admit you need help seeing your own blind spots. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. And don't just wait for feedback to come to you. Create a system for it. Build it into your life. Schedule monthly check-ins. Create space for debriefs after key moments. Ask for post-performance reviews, not just in work but in life. After a difficult conversation, ask the person, how did I come across? What could I have handled better? That kind of consistent self-inquiry accelerates your evolution faster than anything else. But here's the final key. You must detach your identity from your ego. Because feedback is going to hurt sometimes. It's going to feel like rejection. But it's not rejection. It's redirection. It's someone giving you the map that leads out of mediocrity. Don't throw it away because you didn't like how it made you feel. Instead, use it. Let it sharpen you. Let it humble you. Let it turn you into someone who's not just chasing growth, but commanding it. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who has nothing to prove and everything to learn. Become that person. Become the one who seeks truth, not applause, who invites correction, not comfort, who grows so fast that even your past self wouldn't recognize you. That's who you're capable of becoming. That's the standard you should be chasing. So right now, decide to make feedback your advantage. Not a threat. Not a burden. A tool. A gift. A weapon that cuts through your excuses and forges your potential. Ask the people who know you best. Where can I improve? And don't get defensive. Get determined. Thank them. Use it. Let it propel you. Because that's how you accelerate your personal growth in ways that most people will never experience. You're not here to play small. You're here to stretch, to rise, to become someone extraordinary. And to do that, you need truth. Not filtered truth. Not softened truth. Real, direct, powerful truth. Delivered with honesty, received with courage, and transformed into action. Every week that passes without feedback is a week where your growth slows down. But every time you ask, listen, and adjust, you create a new trajectory. A faster, sharper, more focused path toward the life you're capable of living. So don't wait. Seek it. Invite it. Learn from it. Use it. Let it shape you into someone who doesn't just dream of improvement, but demands it. This is your edge. This is your power. This is how you rise faster than anyone around you. Start today. Be bold enough to hear the truth, and strong enough to use it. Chapter 10. Invest time in learning new skills to expand your potential. If you're not learning something new every day, you're quietly falling behind those who are. Think about it. The world isn't waiting for you to catch up. It's moving forward with or without your permission. Right now, someone out there is learning a skill that will replace yours. Someone else is acquiring knowledge that will open doors you didn't even know existed. And while you're busy scrolling, hesitating, or waiting for the right time, someone else is expanding their potential, pushing their limits, and stacking advantages that you'll soon wish you had. You want more out of life. You want to rise. Then you've got to make a decision that most people never make. The decision to invest your time in learning, in developing, in evolving, not someday, not when it's convenient. Right now, let this hit you. Your future self is being built by what you choose to learn today. Your income, your influence, your impact, they are all tied to the skills you choose to master. If you stay the same, you stay stuck. If you grow, everything around you starts to shift. That's not a theory, that's a law. The painful truth is that too many people are living far below their potential, not because they aren't capable, but because they stopped learning. They graduated, they got a job, they got comfortable, and they convinced themselves that what they already know is enough. But it's not. Not anymore. Not in a world that moves this fast. Not in a world that rewards those who can adapt, pivot, and bring new value to the table at any moment. Every minute you waste is a minute someone else is using to build their edge. And it's not about competition, it's about survival. If you don't learn to evolve, you slowly become irrelevant. That's a brutal reality. But it's also your wake-up call. You weren't born to stay static. You were born to stretch, to sharpen, to rise above your old limitations. Every new skill you learn becomes a tool you can use to carve out a better future. It becomes leverage, the kind of leverage that turns average effort into exponential results. But here's the catch. No one's going to force you to learn. You have to want it. You have to crave it like oxygen. You have to become obsessed with your own growth, because no one else is going to do it for you. No one's coming to save you from stagnation. You have to save yourself with discipline, with hunger, with relentless commitment to learning what you don't yet know. Let me be real with you. Skill acquisition is not glamorous. It's not a highlight reel. It's messy. It's humbling. You'll fail. You'll get frustrated. You'll feel slow and behind. But that's the point. Growth is uncomfortable. Learning stretches your brain. It forces you to admit that you don't have it all figured out. And that's a strength, not a weakness. You can't wait until you feel ready to learn something new. The moment you feel ready is usually the moment you're already too late. You've got to step into the discomfort now. Start before you're confident. Take action while you're still uncertain. That's how you build the muscle. That's how you become dangerous in a world full of people who are still hesitating. And don't just learn what's easy. Learn what's necessary. Learn the skills that scare you. The ones that stretch your capacity. The ones that could completely change your career, your finances, your freedom. Learn to speak clearly. Learn to sell your ideas. Learn to manage your time like a pro. Learn how to lead others, how to code, how to invest, how to write, how to think critically. Learn the things that make you more valuable, more versatile, more unstoppable. You are not stuck. You're untrained. You're not too late. You're underprepared. And every new skill you pick up is another way out of the life you want to leave behind. Don't confuse motion with progress. Watching videos isn't learning. Reading quotes isn't mastery. Listening to podcasts doesn't make you skilled. You have to do the work. You have to practice deliberately, repeatedly, until what once felt impossible becomes automatic. That's the level of commitment that separates the successful from the stagnant. You will never regret the time you spend mastering a skill that elevates your life, but you will regret every year you spent coasting, distracted, numbing your potential because you were afraid to start. The clock doesn't stop, and neither should your growth. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem to operate on another level, the ones who turn ideas into results, who solve problems fast, who lead with confidence. They weren't born with those abilities. They developed them. They studied. They failed. They got back up and kept learning. That's what greatness looks like behind the scenes. Daily improvement, not overnight success. You want to be respected? Then be skilled. You want freedom? Then be useful. You want options? Then be irreplaceable. And the only way to get there is to constantly learn something new that takes you out of your comfort zone and deeper into your potential. There is no finish line to your development. You're either expanding or you're shrinking. And the people who keep expanding are the ones who've made learning a non-negotiable part of their life. It's in their schedule, it's in their habits, it's who they are. So ask yourself, what have you really learned in the last 30 days that pushed you forward? If the answer is vague, that's your signal. You're not moving fast enough. And if you're not moving fast enough, the life you want is getting further and further away. But the beautiful thing is this: no matter how far behind you feel, no matter how much time you think you've wasted, you can make up for it. How? By starting now and never stopping again. By waking up every day and asking, how do I get better today? Not someday, not next year. Now. Today. Because that's the only day that's real. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for confidence. Just start. Pick a skill. Go deep. Commit. Master it. Then stack the next one. And the next one. Build your arsenal. Build your mind. Build the future that no one else can build for you. The difference between who you are now and who you could be is found in the hours you spend learning when no one's watching. That's where transformation happens, in the invisible work, in the repetition, in the sweat that no one celebrates until it becomes success, that no one can ignore. You were not born to stay the same. You were born to evolve. And every time you learn something new, you're stepping closer to the life that reflects your true potential. So stop wasting your time. Use it. Invest it. Take it seriously. Because time is the one resource you can never get back. But knowledge, once gained, never leaves you. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes your foundation, your advantage, your freedom. Start today. Choose a skill. Dive deep. Get uncomfortable. Stay consistent and never stop, because the future belongs to those who are prepared for it. And the only way to prepare is to learn relentlessly. Make that your identity. Make that your obsession, and your potential will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality.